On my last video, somebody asked me if I had made some sound effects from a portion of the video, and the answer is yes. How I made them? How you can make sound effects? Well, that's what I'm going to show you. Now, of course, you ought not forget to subscribe. But with that being said, I'm going to show you how you can make sound effects for UI systems and really anything for your game or otherwise with tools most people have, tools that maybe not everyone has, and we'll go through a couple different programs. I have a few different software we'll look at. We'll look at FL Studio, Adobe Audition, and we'll go from there. You don't need much to make sound effects on your own. Fully from scratch, using other sounds, etc. So right now I need a sound effect for my game that I'm currently working on called Boyakoya. I'll show you. I need to have a sound effect for when these cards sort. Right? Now, I already have a ton of card sounds. We also have these hovers. It goes from one to the other. I like that. That's one sound effect. And in code, it's pitching up or down based on the index of the card in the pile. When it comes down to 3 cards, it's the lowest, the actual sound, the highest. When it's 1 card or 2 cards, when it's 2 cards, it's left and right. When it's 1 card, it's just that middle sound. Anyways, but I need a sound for when this sorts. I also don't have hover button sounds or click. I'll show you how I made some of the sounds I already have. And check this out. All these card sounds, right? I made several. And I'll get into how exactly that worked out. Let me just show you some of the most recent ones I've made, right? So I've got this file in FL Studio. These are vocals for my game. In this card game that I'm making, when you get 3 tricks in a row,
3
or 4,
4
or 5,
5
there's also
Boya Koya
and
Koya challenge.
And then there's this kick drum that's layered underneath most of these sounds. So it'll sound more like this.
3 4 Boya Koya,
etc. So that's like vocals, and they sound kind of cool, retro-ish. And so I'll get into how I did that too. But we also have bonus sounds, and what that really is like at the end of the game, it counts up your tricks and it counts up all the different bonus scenarios and bonus points that you can get. I've got a tick sound, and I've got the bonus sound. And I liked with that echo. So how did I make those? Well, with those, I have a very simple pattern here. Apparently I didn't save some of. Right, so this is a really cool plugin. It's called Super Audio Cart. And it has used the actual console audio chips to basically record all the sounds that they can make. And so we got like, if we just play the pattern, that's just a freaking beep, right? And if we go in piano roll, we'll just actually make a pattern here. Let me slow this down a little bit. All right, so I like to just set up a pattern like this, right? Because then we can go into the plugin and just kind of sift through some sound effects we like. And I kind of like the sound of that. I don't know what I would use this for right now because I'm kind of just spitballing, but if we take this, that's kind of nice. Just like as a diddle-a-did. And then we get this plugin also has some effects. So I like that, right? Or it was like this. Or it was like this. Yeah. All right, so you have the pattern right. And what I like to do then is also drop a pattern next to it. Select them both. And then consolidate them. So then we have the actual like wave. And make this real big so we can see where that echo kind of actually dies out, which is like right there. It kind of still goes, it's just real quiet. All right, and then what I also have is usually some sort of effects. See, that adds a little bit of crunchiness to it. The love filter is kind of like a low pass filter right now. Stereo shaper makes it stereo. And you can also then actually move the crunchiness as one of the last things that happens. And that's just like, you know, a beepy type sound effect. All right, but check out how I made my card sounds. Here's them all together. All right, and that's pretty simplistical sounds. How did I make them? Literally like this. I took this business card and I just went. I don't know if you can hear this. Right, so that's pretty simple. But I actually didn't use this microphone. I used my phone's voice memo app. So you can hear there's like a lot of buzzing in the background. I think I had the AC on at that time. But so that's one of the ways that you can actually, if you don't have a microphone, that's great. If you have a phone, you can just record right into your recording app, voice memos or whatever on iPhone or whatever it's called on Android. And then all of a sudden you have some sounds to play with. So yeah, I made this shuffle sound. It sounds like this. I did it by combining several of my card sounds together and adding an effect. That part of the footage got broken. So anyways, let's continue. So in my app now, another part of the footage that was broken was I was making sort of like transition sounds. Now I did those with, you know, sound effects that I have. You can use FL Studio's built-in drums by spreading out crashes and claps and stretching them and pitching them and then combining them and adding some effects. This was a clap and a crash. Now, it's not great, but with a little bit more filter on it, you could use that for many different things. Transitions, even on your videos, in games, quick little panel pop-up, you know, pop up, pop back out, add a reverb, whatever. But I want to show you actually how to make some sound effects that you can do with nothing, just your voice. And I'll do this in a couple different apps to show you how this can work, right? So what I'm going to do is record this in FL Studio. But again, like I showed you on my phone, you could just do this on your bop. All right, so you can do this on your phone, record it into your computer, and or send it over to your computer, and then mess around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some vocal transition sound effects and see how this works out. All right, so I know that's weird, but let's drag these. I'm going to take it and I'm going to normalize it just to kind of see all the peaks and hear if any of these are great. I like it. Let's try working with just this last one for now. Make sure we cut just to the beginning of the sound file or to that sound clip. You already can't tell it's my voice. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not on the outside looking in right now. And we unmute this guy. And then those are maybe too long. Bang. Bang. And if we put these on stretch. And every now and then I add a drum or two to something like that. See? Just a nice, simple drum. Yeah. All right, you get the point. Like, these aren't perfect, and I'm rushing through this, but they get the job done. Now you can do a similar sort of thing in Adobe Audition if you wanted to with the multi-track. And you just make sure you got it on. Something like that. Let's just use that. Crank it up. That's a proper stereo mix. Right. It's almost already good to go. And you really could just use that. No one would ever notice that you made this with your voice. Just crank it up a little bit more. And if we add some effects to track 1, we could do maybe a little bit of studio reverb. So if we make a copy and paste this, and then we convert it to a unique copy, then we open it in the actual sound, whatever editor, we go to effects and reverse, and then we save that, we come back to multi-track, then we have right? And you can just fade this a little bit with these little doohickeys. There might be a way to stretch in Adobe Audition. I don't feel like figuring it out because I got to pee really bad. So I would actually, just so you know, I would only export one of these at a time. I don't know off the top of my head if Adobe Audition has the ability to do like an auto export each track to its own file, but that's what I do in FL Studio because it does have that ability. Now, in Audacity, this all works very similarly. You have your sound file, you recorded something. It could be anything. You can record a door actually closing. You can record a car going by. You shrink it. Usually you want to be in a place where you got not a lot of background noise, so you don't have to do a bunch of noise reduction and whatnot. But you can turn anything into any type of sound effect. Clicks and taps and pops, and you put all that together, you layer things, you add effects. And if you got the right plugins, you can make it sound a little bit lo-fi. There are free plugins out there for that kind of stuff, for Audacity, for Audition, for FL Studio. FL Studio has some built in, and it's where I feel the most happy making sound effects. And so, yeah, if you want to keep tracking along with the development of my games, that's right, I'm working on multiple games at the same time because I'm insane. Please keep it locked and subscribe. This is the current state of Boyakoya, which I think is pretty sick right now. It's coming along quite well. I love the title song. I love everything I've made for it. I just updated this background to look a little more goopy. And I just updated the card backs. So they are this fancy new Boyakoya card back. I had the logo up here. Got all the buttons that'll be necessary over here, and you can play a full game of beginner mode, and it works great. It lets you know what cards you can currently play. See, like he played a banana, you have to match the suit. And again, he got 3 in a row, so I say I screamed 3. He's about to win this again.
4.
And we'll let him win again so you can get 5.
5.
But I take this over. Anyways, that's Boyakoya. I might make a video solely dedicated to talking about Boyakoya, but for now, that's it. So yes, please subscribe. Please press like. And if you've made it this far in the video, comment Boyakoya ... I like emojis, but don't put any emojis. Okay? Bye.